Hi, thanks for joining me. My name is Jerome, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back. If you watched my last episode, a question was asked at the very end, and the question was, can one person truly make a difference? Well, I certainly hope so. But let me make myself clear. The person that I was referring to is not me. The person that I am referring to and was referring to is each individual citizen living in and around the city of Memphis, Tennessee. If you were to go to any publication or go online and search for the most dangerous cities in America, more than likely Memphis, Tennessee would rank between 1 and 3 most of the time. That is something we should all find extremely unacceptable and be very, very uncomfortable with. I know that I am. My goal with the next few series is to do whatever I can and enlist you to do whatever you can to get us out of the top 10 most dangerous cities in America. The reason why is not simply because of the fact that we will be curbing crime, but because of the underlying message that it sends to the rest of the world, including those in and around the city of Memphis. Many of the cities that are listed as the most dangerous cities in America tend to have predominantly black or populations dealing with people of color. And that is something that we should all be uncomfortable with simply because of the underlying message. So please be with me, hang with me, and I hope that you can recommend things or communicate with me on ideas that you may have to curb crime. Clearly we know that not doing the crime would go a long way, but there should be other ways to influence people that are on the edge and may have given in to that dark side to not do it. So I'm going to turn this over to Thomas and we're going to go from there. And please bear with me and be with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome. And hello to my listeners. If you are familiar with Memphis, I am happy to say that post-COVID, it is still a very popular tourist destination. To the best of my knowledge, it houses the country's largest Bass Pro Shop at the Pyramid, which was once a sports arena. It is also home to Graceland, the late Elvis Presley's estate, the FedEx Forum, which is the Coliseum for the Memphis Grizzlies, and Beale Street, which draws crowds from around the country and even internationally, as well as the home of the blues. And let us not forget the awesome taste of its dry barbecue. It goes without saying that the vast majority of Memphians living here in the metro area, people of all races, ethnic groups, and nationalities, are good law-abiding citizens. Unfortunately, too many of us have come to be identified by the very few among us that act in ways resulting in negative attention, and sometimes do awful things that unfortunately impacts how others view our diverse individual groups as a whole, including our communities, whether that viewpoint is fair or not. We know that life is not always easy for many, leading some to eventually give in to the dark side of human nature and commit criminal acts. Still, there are far more upstanding citizens in every community who are often caught between a rock and a hard place, now stuck with a negative perception of their neighborhoods, feeling that their entire communities have been unfairly labeled and its image completely tarnished in ways that does not always identify with their true daily reality. In the case of Memphis, it is also important to consider what people actually see when visiting the city, and how that impacts the image of a city from the outside looking in, as well as the believability of what they have heard, whether it be negative or positive. It is said that the first impression is everything, and many, if not most people, often view a town or city's livability for themselves and present or future family through the downtown and its upkeep, especially those cities with a reputation. That said, could the lack of modern downtown skyscrapers lend itself to the feeling that Memphis is lacking in some important ways, even if in reality, it could be a great place to settle down in? The truth is, there is no getting around the fact that the Memphis downtown skyline could use a bit more updating. Though the Memphis leaders have made great strides with downtown low-rise construction projects over the years, adding modern and upscale apartments, small homes, and a few small hotels, it continues to struggle with modernizing the city's skyline in ways that speaks to visitors and major corporations looking for new headquarters, showing that Memphis is a great place to prosper. And it is indeed a great place to live, in my opinion. In fact, a future episode will focus solely on creative ideals to overcome the downtown infrastructure issues that may be facing the city when looking to build new skyscrapers. Still, even though the downtown area does not have many beautiful, gleaming tall buildings, it should be noted that you seldom see many, if any, homeless people camped out on the downtown sidewalks or living in boxes either. At least not in the same mass as with other major and well-known cities, something that we should praise the city leaders for, but it is often underappreciated. The same cannot be said for other major cities not often seen in the top 10 most dangerous cities of the US. This beckons the question, is it possible that those who are poor and homeless living on the street, even in boxes and tents, are less dangerous to the community than those who are poor and undereducated living in homes and with family in certain cities and communities? Given that poverty and low education is often stated when reasoning for many dangerous crime statistics in well-known cities listed in the top 10, Memphis certainly has more than its share of crime, that cannot be disputed. Yet, from what I understand, it is usually black-on-black incidents, which warrants far more attention in another episode coming soon. That said, most crimes in Memphis tend to take place in certain areas more so than in others. This is absolutely no different from any other large city. The fact is, there are many areas of the Memphis metro where a person could feel safe walking and living. Yet, the image of Memphis for some may appear to follow a more than century-old narrative that may be believed in the minds of some when visiting the city. You're probably wondering, what century-old narrative am I referring to? Though some of you may know this narrative, for others, you can tune in for the next episode and hear more about it, keeping in mind that it is just a thought, not a fact. As we are nearing the end of this episode, it is important to note that, like this one, the immediate upcoming few segments will most likely be very brief for now, as the platform builds on its audience and participants. The future goal is to incorporate responses with respectful comments and share those thoughts when they appear to have merit and noble intentions that others can learn from without being insulted or outright offended. This is important given that many people may at times simplify the root causes of many issues by blaming politicians, other parties, or entire ethnic groups for the problems without at least presenting their thoughts as if the shoe were on the other foot. Over the years, this has proven to be quite unproductive given that simplifying a problem and the solution by pointing the finger solely at others tends to cause many of them to close down and stop talking. More importantly, stop listening, leading us into a never-ending circle back to square one. That said, we hope that you continue to stay with the platform as it grows, subscribe, like, and click the notification bell in order to capture each episode as it is uploaded. Also, please know that you are truly, truly appreciated.